Katie.
Hi, I'm Camilla.
And welcome to You're Gonna Be Fine, the self-development podcast with a chatty twist.
Please know that we are not professionals, just regular girls sharing from our own journeys to hopefully educate, motivate and inspire you on yours.
So if you're dealing with something serious, please speak to a professional because at the end of the day, they are the experts, not us.
If you are enjoying the podcast, please rate, review, subscribe and share with someone who you think would enjoy it.
It helps us more than you know to reach more gorgeous people just like you.
With that being said, enjoy the episode and remember, whatever it is,
you're going to be fine. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to You're Gonna Be Fine, your favourite podcast. Today's episode is called 4 Mistakes We've Made So You Don't Have to. And I'll be honest, there were many more than 4, okay? Yeah. It was very, very difficult to pick 4. So would we say these are the top 4?
Yeah, I would say the ones, and it's 2 each, isn't it?
Yeah.
There may be like 1 or 2 bonus ones because we just couldn't narrow it down.
Yes, yeah. So just to be clear, we've made many more mistakes than 2 each. Oh my God. We could do a whole series on the mistakes we've made. But before we go into this, what's your O-Fuck of the week?
My O-Fuck of the week, and you were there to witness this O-Fuck of the week, happened at my 30th birthday retro sports day. So the sports day was absolute carnage for starters. May I just add that my dad organised the sports day games. He is an Ironman triathlete. And the people...
It was no joke.
Yeah, it was no joke. Like one person passed out. There were like multiple injuries throughout the day. It was 32 degrees. It was like Marathon des Sables, which is where you like run in the desert for 7 days. Anyway, there was like 1 bottle of water between like 3 people because we hadn't like allowed for it to be so
sunstroke waiting to happen.
Yeah, literally. So basically, one of the games, there was bouncy hoppers, there were banana suits. Check my Instagram for the full highlight reel because it was a lot. It was a lot of good stuff.
So creative, though.
It was so creative.
And so well organised.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, Neil smashed it.
He did smash it.
Did.
Bless him.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the games involved a blindfold and you basically had to lead your teammate. Someone had to lead their teammate to, what was the game?
Jump over the hay bale.
Oh, jump over the hay bale.
To the water.
Yeah.
To the paddling pool.
Yeah.
And then was it a bucket of water?
Yeah, they had to wear a blindfold basically and you had to like guide them. So it was really tough. But we made the mistake in our team of just making one person do the guiding for all 6 lengths. And everyone else was like swapping people to guide. So I was fucked. I was knackered. So anyway, the first few, like I was obviously guiding them, whatever. By number 6, which was my boyfriend's stepmom, so good old Sazzles, shout out to her because she was giving it 100. She was giving it 100 and she trusted me heart. And that's what's killing me because basically she had this blindfold on. She's running so bloody fast though and she's 60 and I was like, whoa, wait. Anyway, she doesn't see the hay bale and I'm like, wait, and it's like slow-mo. Anyway, she's obviously blindfolded, but my dad was like, there must be some cheating over there because she's going so fast. I was like, no, she just trusts me.
It's full trust,
Anyway, she's going full pelt towards this hay bale and I'm like, no! Next thing you know, fully decks it. She's blindfolded, so she literally is all discombobulated. It was not like a graceful fall from her,
God.
bless her.
Honestly, I wish you'd seen it from my angle because I saw it head on and literally when you were like, no. Like everyone there was like, no.
I felt so
she
bad.
Full on roly-polied over the hay
she
bale.
She could have really hurt herself.
I'm surprised
I
she
think
didn't hurt
she
herself.
may have hurt herself more than she let on.
Possibly, but she styled it out really well,
She
to be
did.
fair to
And
her.
my dad was going through the megaphone, who was your guide? Who was your guide? And I was like, not me. And I felt awful. And then I just thought to myself, God, she's just never going to trust me again because even though you know it's an accident,
of course,
in your core, you're like,
you're a bitch.
You've made me look like, she didn't actually look like an idiot.
No,
I
she
looked
didn't.
like the idiot.
No.
Because I was being outrun
worried.
by a 60-year-old also. Like she is in good bloody shape. Anyway, she won an award for her enthusiasm anyway. So that kind of equals out but it was no fuck. Like, I can't be trusted to like guide someone. So yeah, good job they have guide dogs for that, because I would not be a good one. But I was knackered.
No,
like,
to be fair,
so unfit.
running that many lengths in 32-degree heat. I brought my own umbrella, didn't I? Portable shade.
Oh yeah.
If you're ever hot, take an umbrella. I know the umbrella's meant for the rain, but let me tell you right now, it doubles up as portable shade. I am not premature aging. Yeah. Okay? I'm just not. And I don't get a tan. So what's the point?
Edward Cullen over there, literally with her umbrella. Yeah. But it was a really good day, but I just did feel really bad. And I thought, do I message her? And then it's like, you're making it into a bit of a big deal there.
Yeah.
So,
oh no, she knows it was an accident.
She wrote nice things in my birthday book, to be fair, but I suspect that might have been before. Not sure. What was your oh fuck?
My oh fuck is a realisation. So when this episode comes out, it will be August the 13th.
I love this one.
How do you know it is already? And my oh fuck of the week is more of a story time, really. So it's come around quite quickly. But basically, on August the 13th, as in today, when this episode goes out, the Love is Blind UK season 2 is airing. And my oh fuck is the realisation that I was actually nearly on this show.
Yeah. I can't believe it, honestly. Well, I can believe it because you're just perfect for it.
So funny. So basically, like, 18 months ago now, me and James were just kind of dating, really.
Casual.
Like, dead casual, just dating. And Love is Blind slid into my DMs and asked me if I wanted to interview for going on the show. And so I thought, yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Not got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a wife.
I'll go on it.
I'm
exactly.
just,
Exactly. So I did the Zoom interview. No, I did a phone call with the woman, with the casting agent woman, and smashed it. She was lolling every second. And I told her so many of my dating disasters. Obviously, they're constantly looking for storylines, aren't they? So like, obviously the fact I don't drink is a storyline. And also the fact that I lived at home with my parents still at that time was also a storyline, because I don't know if you've watched Love is Blind, but at one stage of the programme, once you have met your man.
I love it. I've watched all of them.
Yeah, you go back, don't you, to real life, and you kind of live your real life with that person. So obviously it would have been funny as fuck to move them in with my parents.
Who are icons.
And it was so funny because when I got through to the like Zoom call bit, it was, my mum was in the house and I was doing the Zoom and she was asking me loads of questions about my dating life and what kind of man I'm looking for and stuff like this. And she was asking me about my family and what my family thought of dating. And I was like talking about my mum and dad, and she was like, "Oh, is your mum in?" And I was like, "Yeah, do you know what? She actually is."
Great.
She was like, "Can you go and get her?" I was like, "Yeah." So I went out, and it was actually on that day was my mum's birthday, her 60th birthday. So she's got full glam. Now, if you don't know my mum, she is the most glamorous woman on the planet. She is an absolute 10 out of 10 inside and out. And I just knocked on her door, and I was like, "Mum, I'm just doing this thing. Can you just pop in?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure." Always ready. Always camera ready.
Yeah.
She's got a full blowout. Floor to ceiling. No.
Floor length.
Floor length, thank you. Floor length leopard print coat. Shock.
Yeah.
Would you expect anything less for just chilling around the house? So she comes onto the Zoom and they were asking her loads of questions. To be fair, she was better than me. I was like, get her on.
Yeah.
Honestly, she was hilarious. And then, anyway, didn't hear anything of it because obviously it takes ages.
Oh my God,
like the process is ages. And then I just carried on dating James and just, thought, well, probably won't even get a call back, but what a funny experience. And me and my mum got a load of lols out of it, so it was just funny. And then fell in love with James.
Yeah, plot fucking twist. How irritating. Honestly, the podcast right now would be like sky fucking high because of that exposure. You selfish cow.
I know, what a selfish bitch. I fell in love. How annoying.
I'm fuming. You could have waited. You really could have waited.
So irritating. So basically, carried on dating James, fell in love with him. Grr. Like yawn, snore.
Yeah.
And I got a call back like months later and they were like, yeah, like, will you go and do your GP and your psychological stuff because it's looking really, really good.
Yeah.
So I had to say to the woman, because the woman basically did say to me on the phone, like, you're on it.
You're on it. Oh, I've got goosebumps. And why would you not be? I'm sorry. Like, you're just the perfect candidate. Like, seriously, I can't think of anyone more perfect. Seriously.
You're my biggest cheerleader. Love you. But alas, I was in love. And so I I had to say to this woman, well, about that, I'm so sorry, but I actually think since having this conversation with you, I have manifested the man of my dreams.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh my God, you wouldn't believe how often this happens.
Yeah.
How annoying.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way, that is annoying for you.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, honestly, like, all the best. I'm so happy for you. She was lovely. But then at the end of the call, she was like, but if anything happens, literally anything, if he steps one toe out of line, you know where we are. And I was like, okay, yeah, great. So yes, that was that. So obviously now it's been like a year since then. And it's on our screens. So I am so bought into watching this series.
Please, can I come round?
Of course.
I feel like I'll come round for the first episode.
Yes, but my mum was hilarious because she was like, well, in a way, she was like, I'm so glad you're not on because imagine that you fell in love with an absolute minger.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, oh, true. No, it's not the one, is it?
But equally, there have been some like, you know,
really solid relationships come out of it.
Yeah,
true.
But what do you, like, just like going off a tangent, do you think that Love is Blind?
No.
Oh, well, and that is so interesting. So you could have been proven wrong or proven right.
Honestly.
Like, they do say that, like, it's crazy when you're in there, like, it's so intense. Like, you're in there for like 10 hours a day talking to people, writing notes. You cut the crap, don't you? And you just like straight away, do you want to get married? Do you this? Like, do you want kids?
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, so we'll be watching the screens thinking, I wonder in a parallel universe, like we've done Sliding Doors, when we did an episode on Sliding Doors, like what would have been?
Who you would have maybe fallen for.
It was funny because, I think it was you actually who said to me, like, you'd be like, oh, how annoying. Like you've actually done the right thing and like followed love instead of following like exposure.
Yeah.
How irritating.
I know, it is irritating. Like,
I know, but when you spend so long manifesting the love of your life, when he's dropped on your lap, you don't make silly choices like that,
and I'm only teasing, to be fair. I feel like I'm so happy that you're happy. So happy that you're happy. But yeah, also at my birthday, it was so funny because Katie's very modest, which like I can't relate to. No, I'm joking. I am modest. But like that is tea. And at my birthday, we were talking about something. I can't remember what we were talking about. And basically it was on the topic of Love is Blind. Yeah. We were talking about that topic and I'm glaring at her like this. Like, tell them. And she was like, oh, like, you know, and I was literally like this.
She was like, speak.
I was like, say your, because I was like, it's not my thing to tell. But she was like, oh, I didn't want to like make the conversation about me. I was like, are you joking? Like, you've got a free fucking pass.
It's because Steph was talking and she was
Who cares? I'm joking. Love you, Steph. But also, like, when it's that, we can't let the combo drift on something else. Funny. And then you'd be like, oh, by the way, going back to Love is Blind, like, you know, so that's why I was giving her like the look, because I was just wanting to brag vicariously.
Cute. So
yeah, that's such a good one.
It'll be a good one to watch. If you do watch Love is Blind, please let us know who you think would have been my match.
Yeah.
Or who would have absolutely been not my match. I'm just intrigued. And as a Love is Blind fan, because I did watch Love is Blind religiously, like the US one before the UK. So yeah, what a story.
It is such a good story. I love that one. Yeah, so good.
Right, let's go into our mistakes.
Yeah. So my first mistake was, drum roll, filler. Like, seriously.
Same.
Filler from, I think I had my lips done when I was at uni. So I will have been like 21. No, maybe younger actually, 20. Which I think is so young to get your lips done.
I was 18.
Wow.
I was 18 when I first got my lips done.
And mine... Oh my Lord. I was actually screenshotting pictures because I was doing a video for Dr. Nat, who now does my aesthetics. And I was like looking back at my lips. And honestly, there is such a thing as well as filler blindness.
100%.
And I was filler blind.
Yeah.
You know, and a few people did actually say to me, you know, like your lip filler is migrating and like they don't look that good. Like in a nice way.
Yeah.
Like I remember Steph did say like, oh, yours have like migrated a bit. And I was like, no, they've not. Like I was like, that's really mean. I was thinking that. I was like, that's really mean. But really it was from place of love because they were awful. I looked like the fish from Shark Tale. Like,
she's quite fit for a fish though.
She's so fit for a fish. Sam always says he really fancies her.
Yeah, I fancy her as a fish.
Okay.
Christina Aguilera, is it?
I think it is, but he fancies the fish. Do you fancy the fish or Christina?
Both, I think.
Both, all of the above. So yeah, and I just think my biggest regret was not, number one as well, because this is quite a current topic at the minute, obviously there's been all this legislation potentially up in the air about, you know, registered nurses being the only ones that can administer aesthetics. And I have to say that to an extent, I do agree with that, because I've had a lot of people that haven't been qualified as a nurse or from a medical background. I've had complications. I've had, you know, excessive swelling, like not much in the way of like consultations or aftercare. You've just kind of like been put back into the world after like having these massive swollen lips. And same with like, you know, I had jaw filler at one point, and I just looked like an Xbox. Like I just looked like I'd swallowed an Xbox. Seriously, like really bad. So yeah, I think that was my biggest mistake. And I just wish, looking back, that I'd embraced the natural a bit longer and, you know, made a bit more of an educated decision instead of just going off what everyone else was doing.
Yeah.
And going along with that.
Yeah, there's also a thing of like following the trend though, isn't there? Like at the time when we were, you know, 18, 21, it was the trend because filler was quite new then. And it was becoming mainstream. So I think people were just like the big lips with like the Kardashians having the big lips, and like the Kylie lip kit had just come out and all of that. And you wanted like the big lips to go with that. But I remember being as young as 15 and saying to my mum, like, I hate my lips. Like, what can I do? I didn't know filler was a thing. But I remember, bless my little heart, I would get like red lip liner and just draw on my skin because I was so self-conscious of it. And then like one swipe and it's just like a nightmare. But I remember saying to mum, and she was like, no, you have to wait. And then when I got to 18, I was literally like, please, I've been thinking about this for like 3 years. And I was like, please. So my mum went with me, which I don't know, she might get hate for that, but my mum is in the aesthetics world and she knows it, and she's not stupid. And she's stunning. So she's obviously doing something right. And I got like the tiniest bit put in. And basically that's what I've done over the years, just like over 12 years now of getting filler, just little by little by little, and nothing drastic, and just sort of, rather than change what you look like, just enhance the features that you already have and like play to what you already have. And I think that's what makes your face still your face 100%. Without having like some huge dramatic transformation. But I've had the cheek filler, like when I was drinking, I got cheek filler because when I was drinking, I was so swollen and puffy and making such terrible lifestyle choices. I had this like rock solid filler in my cheeks. And then when I stopped drinking and I like went back to my normal self, my cheeks were like, oh, I was like, oh my God. My mum was like, you look like a skeleton. Like, it's bizarre. She was like, it looks like a door handle on the side of your face. Like, you need to get that checked. Those are her exact words as well, savage. And so I just was like this with the gua sha, like trying to get it out because it was honestly really intense. Thankfully, it has like completely gone now. But I'm the same. I've had jaw when I was drinking. Like, but when you're younger, you make these decisions, don't you? And I think if you are a younger person listening to this and thinking, oh, I want to get Botox filler or whatever it is, like, I would really do your research and ask yourself, leading on to my next point actually, which is don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. Like if you're, I know it sounds so minor, but if you're like on your period and being a bit self-conscious, don't go and get fucking 3 mils of filler.
Or you've not had a text back from your crush and you're like, oh, you know, there's someone else that he fancies or whatever. It's just, you know, I like what you said about, you know, accentuating your natural features, and I've never felt more like me and natural, but I have had, you know, like tweaks from Dr. Nat, who honestly, like, and she has just changed the game for me confidence wise. Like, I feel like the amount of like compliments that I've had, like skin, like I just feel more like me. The lips are like way more natural. Just everything. And the nose filler, I have had nose filler and I do not regret that. And that's been a game changer. But like very small tweaks. And I have like, you know, some people have actually been like, have you had a nose job? And I'm like, oh, no.
A bargain nose job.
A bargain nose job, exactly. But I think it's all about education when it comes to filler. And if you want to do it, do it. Absolutely. But just make sure that you're doing it for you and it's not from external pressures.
Like, we're all for doing what makes you feel better. And I know some people are really against filler and Botox. That's fine. That's your provocative. But we're all in, do what makes you feel good.
You get one life.
Exactly.
Like,
I want you to feel like your hottest version of yourself. And if that's getting a bit of filler, fucking go for it, love. That's what we say.
100%.
So yeah, just to go off the back of what I just said briefly there about don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. That was definitely a filler decision for me when I was drinking, in that I did feel like self-conscious and got the filler. But I've had so many decisions that I've done like off that. Like, I've made permanent decisions off things that actually probably weren't gonna last. So when I was drinking and like in the depths of despair, I was like, that's it, I'm moving to Australia. Now, I know it's like a personality trait when you've moved to Australia. You've moved to Australia.
I have, yeah. And I talk about it all the time.
Exactly. It's literally like everyone's done it at some point in their life, I feel. But I get why people do it. It's a great experience. However, think about the reasons why I was running away from the shit show that I had made my life become. And I literally dumped my boyfriend, sold my car, like emigrated. Like, I was just so extreme. I was just like, rah, all within like 4 weeks of making the decision, honestly. So obviously, if you're going to make a big decision in your life, that's absolutely great. Like, go for it, take risks, live life, but think about it.
First, don't act on those impulses.
Please, yes. Yeah, that's don't act on your impulses. Think about it. Set yourself deadlines. Maybe if you want to say, right, I'm going to sit on this decision for a couple of weeks, give yourself a deadline and actually live it in your mind. So this is a really good piece of advice that actually, of all people, Matthew McConaughey.
Great.
Got this off him.
Green Lights in his book.
Yes. And he basically said, if you've got a big decision to make in your life, for 2 days, 48 hours, sit with that decision in your mind. Live your life as if you've made that decision. Literally think about it. Think about the next steps, what you're going to be doing. Live it, breathe it as if you've made that decision. And then after that 48 hours, flip it and make the other decision. And live with that decision for 2 days and actually think about it, feel it, embody it. And then once you've done that for 4 days, then make your decision.
You know, you're armed with information.
Yeah, I thought that's really good advice.
And also it kind of comes into what like I've been thinking about at the minute, you know, the whole like reaction versus a response.
Yes.
Like it's similar to that in that, you know, make sure that you are making a response to, you know, a potential decision, not just a reaction. So you're literally in the moment, you know, something's gone wrong, you've been maybe dumped or like something, and your immediate reaction would be, I'm moving to Australia.
Yeah.
But your response would be, right, okay, I've just been dumped. This is a really tough time. What is the best move for me? Is it that I just moved to like Manchester or away from my hometown or, you know, and then you work through that as a response, not a reaction.
Yeah.
So I think that that's so important and really good advice. And yeah, I'm glad that we can obviously share that as a mistake. Interesting that you see that as a mistake. Like, and...
Well, my experience was horrific. So I think that's probably why. But honestly, that's a story for another day because we've got more mistakes to get through, but we'll pin that one. Yeah. It was possibly the worst 10 weeks of my life.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes me so sad.
Honestly, it was horrific.
You hate the sun and you went to Australia.
I know. There was a lot of, I mean, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake. I mean, I was 8 weeks sober and I moved in with a using drug addict, red wine drinking alcoholic at 9 a.m. So she was bringing crackheads to the house and I had to take a bag full of all my valuables to work with me because I had no lock on my door. So, yeah.
Okay,
that just gives you a taster.
That's definitely a mistake.
I walked in and there was a poo in the middle of the floor. I was like, a human poo. She locked me out of my own flat. I was banging on the door. I opened it to see a poo on the floor. And this little old woman came to the door. Hello. I was like, who are you? Who are you? She's like, hello, I don't know where my bank card is. I was like, no, who are you?
Why are you in
who are you?
Apartment?
I was like, where's the flatmate? I won't name her. Not that you'll ever find her, but I won't name her. But I was like, where's the flatmate? At a Russell Brand seminar on sobriety. I thought, what's
going on?
It was like I was tripping balls. Like I thought, I'm tripping. I don't know who you are. She was like, where's my bank card? And then I was like, why is there a poo on the floor?
Oh my God, never mind your bank card.
What is going on?
Who was she, this woman?
Some woman that she'd met in the bar that she just brought home, some random woman. And I felt dead sad because she had 2 little pet chihuahuas that she just used to leave in the flat. Oh, it was dead sad. Yeah. So it was bizarre. And then COVID came, I lost my job. And within 24 hours, I was on the flight home and I was back in the UK. sat in my childhood bedroom, no car, no boyfriend because I just dumped him 8 weeks ago. Sold everything I owned.
Because you hate the sun.
No tan, just trauma. And then I was just like, right, so. And then we went into lockdown.
Oh my God.
So that's the whistle
That all
stop.
came off the back of me being like, interesting that you see that as a mistake. Next thing you know, she's like, well, there was a poo on the floor. There was an old woman with chihuahuas. I had no boyfriend. I came home and had no car, no life. And
no money, broke. Because I spent it all on emigrating for 4 years.
Oh my God.
Turned out it was 10 weeks. Stunning.
Wow.
I'm out of breath from telling that story.
That was a great story. Well, it was a mistake for sure. Like, let me confirm, honeys.
Big mistake.
Yeah,
Huge.
I should not second guess. Interesting that you see that as a mistake. Famous last words from me. So, yeah, I feel like that's a hard one to follow, you know.
No, go on. You follow. What's your next one?
My next mistake, and this is a personal mistake. So I'm not saying that this is a mistake that, other people might not see it as a mistake, but I certainly do. And it is that, so one of my ex-boyfriends, he was messaging another girl while we were together. Ooh. And I was very young at this point, and we were in Australia. I mean, I think the common denominator here is don't move to fucking Australia. It ruins your life. So I was like so settled, and I was like so in love, like from being the ice queen. I trusted this.
From being the ice queen?
Yeah, I was the ice queen,
defrosted.
literally. I was like savage before, and then I was like, right, I fully trust him. We live in Australia together. But it was different for him because he was in Australia and all his friends were in Australia as well. So he felt very settled, whereas I had no friends out there. I was like starting again. And anyway, so he was messaging this other girl who was someone in his friendship group who he'd always said, oh, we're just friends, we're just friends.
Classic.
But it came about, they'd done everything but.
Oh my God, I hate that.
And I hate that phrase, number one.
That's
Number
so
two,
A-level.
I wish you'd just shagged because literally then you've got unfinished business. So just shag already. Anyway, they did after we split up, like literally straight away. Cute story.
Oh God.
Anyway, the mistake was basically thinking that you can get past something like that when the trust is gone. And the reason why you accept that you will move past things, I think, is if you accept that you will forgive and forget. You can't mention it. Well, maybe not forget, but you can't mention it every time there's an argument. You can't bring it up. Otherwise, you don't move forward. And that's all I would do. Like, I was so hurt.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like I checked out of the relationship, which was really unfair. And yeah, so that was just a mistake. And I feel like I would never do that again. If someone breaks my trust and is like messaging or, you know, anything that goes against my boundaries and what I think is disrespectful. Yeah. You know, I was a 20-year-old girl and it just made me so insecure and so, you know, and it has given me trust issues, definitely.
Yeah.
So I regret that. I regret not respecting myself. And that's since then, I mean, I've got the tattoo, self-respect over feelings.
Yeah. So my last one is also in the vein in sort of like relationships is love bombing. Have you ever been love bombed?
Yes, I think I have actually.
I have. Bad. Really bad. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this one is because I feel like this term is kind of thrown around a bit at the moment. Like, oh, he's such a love bomber, such a narcissist, gaslights me. And obviously those three things are very serious claims. Like if you are saying, you shouldn't really be dropping them lightly and like calling your boyfriend a narcissist just because he's pissed you off. Like it genuinely is not a nice experience to go through and it's extremely draining. And it happened to me a few years ago when I was kind of like newly sober and I basically dated this guy for like a couple of months and it drained the life out of me. I know love bombing is nice for some people at first and I read this thing online. It was like, I can never catch love bombing because I am so great. Like, why would somebody not want to sweep me off my feet? And like, I am the best thing since sliced bread, which really made me laugh because basically what love bombing is when somebody sweeps you off your feet, like grand gestures of it being fate, meant to be, very serious, very quickly, saying I love you very soon. All fine. If that's what you're into. But where it starts to become toxic is when they use those things against you. And that's what love bombing is. So it's actually a form of emotional manipulation and control. And that's what happened to me. So the mistake that I made is that I fell for it. And I genuinely believed that like, oh my God, this guy's like been sent from heaven above. Like I can't believe how spot on he is. And what actually really freaked me out about it is that he had followed, I didn't know this at the time, but he had followed me online for ages.
Weird. Oh, that's really weird.
We met each other because he slid in the DMs and I thought, oh, you're fit. And then whatever, started chatting, went on a date. And now I'm looking back and I'm thinking, oh my God, no wonder you knew like, oh my God, we have so much in common. Well, yeah, because you've done your research. Yeah. And like, it all just felt really like weird when he started to like twist it. And so that was my mistake. But what I wanted to tell you and read out to you is I found a text message on my phone that I sent to him calling him out on the love bombing. Oh, sorry, one sec. This is our guest.
Oh, great.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, I'm just outside.
Hi, love. No problem. If you just want to press the buzzer, then someone will let you in. We're just recording the episode just before your one, so we're just wrapping it up now. So there's a little waiting room. No, it's fine. There's a little waiting room, so if you want to get yourself a coffee and stuff, and then we'll be out in 10.
Amazing.
Great. See you.
Bye.
Bye. Aw, she's nice.
She's lovely.
Okay, so back to it. So,
oh my God, I love this.
Okay, it's quite long though, so
no problem.
Buckle up. Right.
Sorry, Vicky.
You'll have to wait.
Yes.
But I thought this was a very good, constructive message, very clear, and basically explaining to him, because he used to like get really defensive or like twist what I'd said in a way to manipulate. So I put, please take what I'm about to say as something that can hopefully be constructive. But after being away from you for a week, taking a step back, having some time to reflect and look from the outside into this whirlwind of a relationship, I have to tell you that I'm not happy and it doesn't feel right. I don't know if you know the term love bombing, but I feel like that is what's happened here. Love bombing is usually unconscious manipulation that is used when sweeping someone off their feet, so the other person feels guilty or bad to say anything that doesn't feel right to them, because on paper, the love bomber has done nothing wrong. Love bombing can look like rushing into a relationship, instant claims of it being fate/meant to be, excessive gifting and compliments, saying I love you very quickly, going above and beyond all the time when not needed or asked, intensity straight away in a relationship, no boundaries, very personal very quickly, grand promises of the future, constant neediness of affection and affirmation. It was draining. I feel like from our very first date, all of these boxes have been ticked at some point, and I felt at times kind of pushed into saying or doing things that I wouldn't have usually done or felt, sometimes out of guilt or just awkwardness or uncomfortableness. I know I've said lightheartedly, as to not upset you, that you gaslight me, but you actually do. And I've also noticed that a lot of the kind of giving things that you do for me or my family, you do for praise and recognition. For example, saying things like, I'm good, aren't I? Or that was nice of me, wasn't it? Well, I bought you X, didn't I? That's what you used to say. Or guilt tripping me into doing work for you as if I owe it to you, which I absolutely don't. That's low-level emotional blackmail. And I don't want to sound ungrateful because you have been so giving and helpful, but sometimes when you say things like that, it makes me question your true intention. On reflection, I should have pushed the brakes sooner. I have had a gut feeling like something isn't sitting right for about 2 weeks. I felt claustrophobic, guilty and drained. I understand this is news to you, so maybe we should take a break so you can think and reflect too. And like I have had the time to do so. I really do like you. We have a laugh, similar goals, morals and values, but I feel like we're on different pages in terms of our real feelings. I know you are very emotionally aware and intelligent, so I hope you don't feel defensive, and maybe we could try and work through this. But of course, let's see. Also, sorry if this came across like I'm talking at you, but I just needed to write it down so that I could say it all in one go. I communicate better through written word.
Great. How old were you at this point?
25.
Wow, that is so like emotionally astute. Like,
thank you. But all those things are like guilty, claustrophobic, drained. Like I had to write that message because I felt like I had no other way. Like every time I tried to bring it up in like a light-hearted way, he'd cry, get defensive, or twist it and manipulate it. And I felt so manipulated. And he would say all the time like things like, "Well, I'm nice though, aren't I?" You know, like guilt trip me into it.
That does come from a place of insecurity though, when they need that constant validation.
So that was a big mistake because I definitely fell hook, line and sinker for the love bomb.
Do you think you'd be able to spot it a mile away now?
100%.
And you'd just shut it down. You'd be like, you're a love bomber. Block.
Yeah, block. Because it's nice to be nice, of course. If you're dating someone and they're showering you with gifts and like saying, oh my God, like you're perfect for me and stuff, that's lovely. Don't say you're a love bomber. But it's when they start to use it against you. That's when it starts to become horrible, like guilt tripping you and stuff like that. So just be aware of the love bombers.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. Yeah, really good advice there. So yeah, I feel like we'll leave it there. There's 4 mistakes for you that we have made so that you don't have to. You're welcome. They were varied, weren't they? I love them though.
Very varied.
So yes, thank you so much for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and share with a friend who you think might benefit. Bye.
Bye, guys.